Oh gosh. Hang on, I gotta mute the stream, hang on. Sorry about that, guys. That was so weird. I hit go live and then all of a sudden my iTunes started playing. My music. Sorry, I just dated myself by calling it iTunes. How is everybody doing this evening? I know it is a school night and a work night at dinner time. I know it's not convenient, but hopefully we'll have some people here. Hi, Ty. Well, are you getting rich at least at all your other markets? I mean, if you're going to diss me for the markets, you better be getting rich at least. Hi, Emma. Are you going to hang out with us all night long again? We're not going to go too late today because my mom's here watching Celeste and she needs to leave early today. So 7:30 is hard cutoff. But I know Knotting Hook Crochet and Cottontail Crafts by Heather are going live together at 7. So I know a lot of you guys are going to ditch when they go live. Hi, everybody. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Carly. Oh, you were just watching the newest video from this morning? Very nice. Yeah, I had a lot to show you guys this week. Hi, Max. Heading to sleep literally right now. Oh my goodness, I know. I'm so sorry. It is so late in the UK. Our next live stream, I think our next one is on a Saturday. So hopefully more people will be able to join live on Saturday. The meeting at supper time thing isn't a problem for me. This is why I have leftovers. That's right, Heidi. Priorities. Who needs sustenance? Who needs nutrition? The Celestial Homebody is live, so get your butts in here. Hi, Carrie. You're still working through the video? Awesome. Hi, Tammy. And hi, Serenity Grace. All right, we have 30 people watching. That's not very many. We're getting cozy and what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Cozy and there's not a lot intimate in here. That's the word I was looking for. Oh my gosh, the next live is on your birthday, Emma. Heck yeah. Hugs from Jersey from BB. I have never been to New Jersey. Well, you didn't say New Jersey. Are you talking about Jersey as in the UK? Or are you talking about the newer version of Jersey in the US? Well, I have here my blanket that we have been working on for the last however many weeks. It's just been sitting on my desk in between lives. So this is where we're at so far. I think we're probably 3/4 of the way done. We'll go, I don't know, how many rows, maybe 15 more rows. And the last couple of live streams, I've done about 15 rows per. So hopefully we'll finally be able to get this blanket done today. And hopefully my tension will not be as shoddy because I was just stretching it out. But you can see especially on, no, this side. You see how it kind of goes in right there? That's because on the last live stream, my tension must have been really tight. Thank you very much. I love these colors. Oh my gosh, Jovi. I'm so sorry if she's going to set your dogs off. Hang on. Let me text my mom and tell her to lock Jovi downstairs because that's going to be annoying. Can you lock Jovi downstairs? Jovi and Paisley got groomed today. Look at this little naked mole rat back here. Paisley, can you say hi? There's a heating pad down there. I took that out of her bedroom. Oh my gosh. Katie, thank you for the gummy worm idea. I made a bunch and completely sold out. Oh, heck yeah. And yes, New Jersey. Hello, Inspire Me Crochet. Wow, we've got a lot of members up in his house today. Emma, is Ryan going to show us his new hairdo tonight? The blonde is absolutely him. Ryan is at work. Jovi's not coming to her. Oh my gosh. Of course she's not. Ryan is at work tonight, so unfortunately he won't be here. But Emma is referencing a story that I put on Instagram today. I got my my wig in the mail to be Rosalina. If you have not seen the episode that came out this morning, I was talking about my Halloween costume, and I'm going to be Rosalina from the Super Mario franchise. So I ordered a platinum blonde wig that I need to style, and it came in the mail today. We put it on Celeste, and she wasn't about that, but she did look pretty hilarious. And then Ryan put it on. And how do I say this? Ryan is very brown. So in a platinum blonde wig, it really sticks out. Yeah, he looked like Daenerys Targaryen. Hi, Lisa. Heidi says Hobby Lobby has the best yarn, especially when it's 75% off or, for the discontinued colorways. I know, seriously, the Yarn Bee and like the, I love this yarn, I love this cotton, so stinking soft. It is my favorite acrylic yarn to use, and y'all know that I am very picky when it comes to using any yarn, especially that's not chenille, because I hate working with thin yarn. That is when I usually outsource it to my hired help. I mean, if we're being real, it's more like a labor, breaking all the labor laws sweatshop, because I outsource it to Ryan. You started making Lassie with the burnout sparkle and it broke my nail. Oh no, Misty. Oh no. I was just talking about that in the video today about the burnout sparkle, how that stuff is stiff. That stuff does not need any Viagra. It is stiff. Hi, Karen. Yeah, Ty, it's the married help. Look, he put a ring on it. He knew what he was signing up for. Wait, I forgot how I'm doing this. Okay, wait, it's double crochet, then single. Hey, where the heck is Nerdy Peach? Oh, Nerdy Peach, you said you would be here today. Do I need to hand out spankings? Hi, Ari. Wow, we've got a lot of birthdays coming up. Wait a second, wait, Ty, your birthday is on the 4th? Is that right? Did I read that right? Because that's Celeste's birthday. Oh my gosh, you and baby girl are birthday twins. Fun. We aren't having a party or anything for her. I mean, she's turning 1, so it's like, what do you do for a 1-year-old's birthday party except for invite adults? So we are just having a little get together with our immediate family, and my sister is flying in from California, and she's going to hang out for the weekend. And we're going to take Celeste to Applebee's because that's her favorite restaurant. She loves their garlic mashed potatoes. It's her favorite food. Taylor's album release day. I've heard everything about the Tay-Tay's new album. I'm going to be real with you guys. I am not a Taylor Swift fan. I am pretty opposite of a Taylor Swift fan, but that is because my sister is a Swiftie, and so she was always listening to her albums when I was like in high school, and I got so sick of it. And I just was like, you know, I was one of those teenagers was like, I can't like anything popular. I need to be unique. So I developed a distaste for Taylor Swift early on in my life, and it's kind of hard to get rid of. She's got some songs that are catchy, but I don't know. From every time I'm in the car with Michaela, that's my sister, she's playing Taylor Swift. And on all of her like new albums, I'm like, these songs aren't good. They're boring. Like, I'm falling asleep. And they all sound the same. You're not a Swiftie either, Carrie? Well, I'm glad that I'm not alone. I know that's a major hot take in today's day and age, considering she's like the most popular artist of all time. She's won like the most awards. If she would be interested in Build-A-Bear, yes, Heidi, that is a great tip. For anybody who doesn't know, at Build-A-Bear, if you take your kid on their birthday, there is what they call the birthday bear, and you pay however old your child is turning that day. So since Celeste is turning 1, if we take her to Build-A-Bear on Friday, then her bear that we make for her birthday will be $1. If the kid's turning 5, it's a $5 bear. I think it stops when they turn 12, though. I don't remember. If you did not know, I used to work at Build-A-Bear, so I know all the ins and outs. But yeah, that is a great birthday tradition. So we're going to do that too. So we're going to go to Applebee's and get her favorite food, which is mashed potatoes. And we're going to go to Build-A-Bear and get her bear. And then we're going to go to Nordstrom because apparently my mom just sent me a thing the other day that Nordstrom does a little like baby's first shoes ceremony. So we're going to go and pick out her first pair of big girl shoes since she's not walking by herself. She does need support, but she is like walking if you help her. So we're going to go get her first pair of shoes. And I guess they do like a little ceremony and give them a little certificate and Polaroid and everything. So that'll be a fun day, especially with my sister here because Auntie Mac doesn't get to see Celeste a lot. Waiting for the Wicked soundtrack. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. Rosalie says, I feel like I've lived through a Mandela effect. Why can't I say that word right now? Because I remember it being embarrassing to like Taylor Swift and she gave off horse girl vibes and now she's like the coolest thing ever. Carrie, do you want to take that one? Because Rosaline is making it sound like horse girls are embarrassing. Yeah, you know what? I feel like it's because a lot of middle schoolers were into Taylor Swift. And so if you were older than that, then it was like, there was a little bit of a stigma around it because you're like, I can't like that. That's like kiddie music, you know? Not horse girl vibes. I mean, she definitely back in the day, Rosaline, you are right. Like back in the day when she was actually country with like her big curly hair and her guitar, I could see the horse girl vibes. But now, no, opposite. I would know nothing about that, Carrie says. If you don't know, Carrie is a horse girl. Build-A-Bear in the UK is pants. My son has a US one we got in Syracuse 20 years ago. Cool. That's very cool. Yeah, Build-A-Bear has gotten really fancy schmancy with all of their new things. Like when I was a kid, it was like pretty much just bears, and then there was Pauline the rabbit. I remember on my 12th birthday, I went to Build-A-Bear and made a turtle. And I remember when the turtle came out, and that was a big deal because it was like one of the first like big non-bear items. But now they're doing all the licensing things and everything. Oh my gosh, I worked at Build-A-Bear when the Minions movie came out, the first Minions movie came out, and I remember we went on like a group field trip, the entire staff. Our boss took us to go see the Minions movie because we have to, if you work there, you have to know the characters that you're selling. And so whenever a new movie would come out where we would be getting licensed things from it, we would have to study. Kind of like Disney, how they make their characters, you know, study the movies and sign autographs the right way and everything like that. It was kind of like that because, you know, kids would come in and be like, I want Kevin. And then you got to know which minion Kevin is, you know. I don't remember any of their other names. Stuart, Kevin, Stuart, Larry? What was the third one's name? I don't remember. Oh my gosh. Hi, Oh gosh, I just lost the chat. Hang on. Dead Girl, you can get a life-size Mothman on their website. They've got a couple of giant ones. I think I saw a giant capybara and a giant axolotl recently too. What are we saying Dave to, Emma? I'm so out of the loop. Oh, is that his name? Bob. Yes, Bob is the short guy. Yes, with the teddy bear. Actually, that little teddy bear that they sold as an accessory at Build-A-Bear, that was Jovi's first toy. Fun fact, because I worked there when I got Jovi. And I saw that little teddy bear and I was like, oh my gosh. So I cut the elastic off of it that you use to put around the bear's hand or the minion's hand. And I gave it to Jovi. I think I still have it. I refuse to throw it away because it reminds me of when she was a little puppy and now she's an old lady. I think she's 11. She's an old lady. The giant Gengar Build-A-Bear looks so cool. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Yeah, I remember. Oh my gosh, you guys, when they did all the My Little Ponies. We've been down this rabbit hole before, and we're not going to go down it today with me showing pictures of my Brony Instagram account. But if you've been around, you might have seen my collection of the Build-A-Bear My Little Ponies. I had every single one. And I want to say there were 26, and I had a walk-in closet when I lived with my dad during like summers of college. And I had in my walk-in closet just Build-A-Bear My Little Ponies lining the entire perimeter of the closet. And then instead of storing like my clothes like on the built-in shelves in there where, you know, and like my pants and everything, that was my pony shrine, my Applejack shrine. So I just had like shelves of Applejack merchandise, including some things that are signed by Ashley Ball, the voice actress for Applejack. Oh my gosh, what a nerd. Nerd alert, nerd alert. Dave was another minion. Yes, Dave is another minion. Bob is the third one that we sold at Build-A-Bear, though. Supposedly their restaurant in Universal is pretty good. Insanely popular. I've never eaten there, but the line is always long. Is that in Orlando or the SoCal one? Hi, Whitney. Yes, you did. Catch a live. Welcome, welcome. You want to get Fluttershy, but my parents wouldn't let me. They said I had too many stuffed animals. Well, you know what? When you become an adult, you get to do whatever you want. So you can say, I don't care that I don't have any more room in this office for stuffed animals. I'm just gonna build myself a shed to put more stuffed animals in. How are you doing? I am doing great. Do you guys want to see my tan? I showed it today in the video. Oh, move the bra strap. Look at that tan. You see it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 0.5 shades darker. I know. Sometimes you just have to go through the pain of the burn in order to get the tan. At least if you have skin like me. There's no such thing for me as just tanning. I always have to burn before I tan. You felt the tan pain? I am a bronze babe, Mandalore. You don't even recognize me, huh? I know. Almost as dark as Ryan now. We should put a red wig on him and then put him in a video and see if you guys can even tell the difference. Probably not. Heidi says, don't tempt me. I'm trying to find a tie-dye puppy Webkins with the tag still on it for a relatively reasonable price on eBay. I love the texture and regret donating mine. You know what, Heidi? I think I donated all of my Webkins too. I don't think I have any more. Invest in an aloe plant. My mother is a ginger and I have very fair skin, dirty strawberry blonde, and I get red like you did. Yes. Yeah, aloe does do some work. I will say though that it is very rare that I do get burned, and that is only because I don't go outside. In fact, I just had a doctor's appointment recently and they did a bunch of blood labs to see what all my levels were at, and my vitamin D was like a tad low. And my doctor was like, yeah, I'm just going to up your, I already take a bunch of vitamins from my gastric sleeve. So that she was like, I'm just going to up your dosage of vitamin D just a tad to get it back up. And I was like, yeah, it's probably because I don't go out in the sun at all. And she was like, honestly, vitamins are fine for you. Don't go out in the sun and risk skin cancer and getting burned and everything just for your vitamin D. You can just take vitamins, girl. And I was like, okay, great. I got permission from my doctor to be a nomad. No, hermit, a homebody hermit who never goes outside. You're having a colonoscopy and endoscopy tomorrow? They're going through both doors? Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess you're already going to be out, so they might as well do both, but holy moly. Thank you for being live tonight so you can have some distraction. Well, I promise you that we will not talk about food, okay? Nobody talk about food. I declare it. I freeze the aloe in an ice cube tray. Oh my gosh, yes, that feels so good when you're putting cold aloe on. A lot of you guys gave me some good tips in the comments of the fall festival video about how to help with the burn. Apparently white vinegar helps. See, I was fortunate though, where like my burn, it blistered, but it didn't peel, which is very interesting considering how bad the burn was. Maybe, I don't know, I just have no more layers of skin to shed after being burned my entire life. Okay, is Ryan really going to be Daisy for Halloween, or was it Peach? Either one is going to be awesome and can't wait to see the Rosalina costume too. Rose says, do they go through both doors at the same time? Do they double team it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about the Halloween thing. I mean, we don't have to do a family costume. And to be honest with you guys, I will dress up to film the video that's coming out on Halloween because it is on a... I think, is it Halloween on a Monday or a Friday this year? I don't remember, but I do remember it was one of my filming day or one of my upload days. So I was going to dress up for filming so that it was a little festive while you guys watch the video on Halloween. But for actual Halloween trick-or-treating, I'm probably not going to be dressed up. That's just cumbersome, especially since it's the baby's first like Halloween where she's not just a little larva and she can actually like go up and trick or treat. I don't really want to be encumbered by the wig and the crown and the dress and all of that stuff. So I'm probably just going to wear my trick or treat give me yarn shirt and like a Halloween cardigan that I have. It is Friday. Okay. It is Friday. So yes, I knew that it was an upload day. So I want to dress up just for the video because I thought it would be fun. So all of this to say that, how's my tension? Oh my gosh, why is my tension so tight? Oh, stretch that baby out. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, family Halloween costume. We don't need to do something all together. We could just make Celeste just in a cute little baby costume. I don't know what she should be, though. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have something so funny to tell you guys. Well, depending on your sense of humor. Some of you might think it's really cryptic, and then I'm going to see the people watching leave. drop down. That number dropped down. So, you guys know Ryan. Good old Ryan, you know him, you love him. So we were talking to his mom today on FaceTime because she ordered from Amazon a ball pit for Celeste, and this kid loves this thing, by the way. But that's neither here nor there. Celeste is wearing today a little it's from the brand Posh Peanut. You might have heard of it if you're a parent. It's like one of those bamboo little dresses. It's like a little swing dress, and they did a collaboration with Lisa Frank, and so it has all of the little like rainbows and the little aliens in the car on it all over her dress. And Celeste was like cruising around as we were on FaceTime with Diane, Ryan's mom, and she goes, I love Celeste in that dress. She looks so cute. And Ryan goes, do you recognize like what the print is? And she goes, yeah, it's Anne Frank. We lost it. And she was like, hey, she was offended that we were laughing. She's like, wait, no, not Anne Frank. And Ryan and I had to explain to her that's kind of an inside joke because Ryan always calls Lisa Frank stuff Anne Frank. And then his mom did it. You feel like most of us here have dark humor? That's good. Sometimes I'll get comments about like how I don't know, I'm inappropriate or whatever, or you know, dark, but that's just my sense of humor. She says it too, and I'm like, well, now I know where Ryan gets it from. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. So we call it her Anne Frank dress. Oh, it's too much. You know what? I do feel like that says something maybe actually good, that is the name that they remember, you know? They're definitely family. Oh my gosh, have you seen Ryan's mom? They are definitely family. They literally, Diane looks like a gender bend of Ryan, or vice versa. Your partner loves when I say that's what she said. Oh my gosh. Yeah, one of these days we're going to go and actually visit Anne Frank's house. And I guarantee you that in the gift shop, there's not going to be aliens riding in a car and a rainbow cat. Dark humor has got me through my 37 years. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ryan and I send memes to each other all the time, especially about like baby loss, dark humor. Because, I don't know, I'm of the mindset, if you don't laugh, you cry, you know? So if something horrible already exists, you might as well laugh about it. So we'll send each other memes about like baby loss all the time. That's definitely dark humor. And anybody on the outside would probably be like, I was watching your last video and saw you're live now and zoomed over. Well, welcome, Marie. You gotta go back and finish it though, okay? Do you pinky promise me? Rose says, I told my boyfriend to remind me to take medicine, forgetting he's an hour behind me in time, so he reminded me an hour late, and I don't have the heart to tell him. Oh, no. Hey, he did his job. He did his job. You should dress Celeste as woolly sheep. Oh, that would be cute. Like Mary had a little lamb. Oh my gosh, years ago, before I even had kids, I saw a picture, and I don't think that it's real. I think somebody like made it, but it was an Amazon listing of a baby costume that is Kevin Malone from The Office. Let me see if I can find it. And like the baby wears like the bald cap with the pot of chili. And I remember thinking, when I have a baby, they will be subjected to wear this. Kevin Malone, The Office baby costume. I hope that it's a real thing. It's loading. Yeah, here it is. I don't think it's real. Look at it. Oh, hang on. Let me turn this off. It's not really focusing, but you get the idea. Are you kidding me? Celeste dressed as Kevin Malone? The listing says paper company accountant spilling a pot of chili costume for baby. Only $14.95 with 4-star review. It's not real, but gosh, I wish that it was. Oh my gosh, wait, somebody actually dressed their baby up like that. That's so funny. I want to put Celeste in a bald cap. I mean, that would be a funny turn of events, though, because I made fun of her for being bald for the first 6 months of her life, and now she has beautiful curly locks just like Ryan. And now we're like, you have so much hair, and now I want to put her in a bald cap again. You should dress her up as a turtle. That would be cute. Yeah, Misty, it's fake. It was a Reddit post. It's not like actually on Amazon, but I have not seen that picture for years. It just stuck out in my mind that I remembered that I had seen it 7 years ago or whenever I did. I saw your video. You want to make Celeste one of the stars. You should totally crochet. Yeah, a couple people have said that. Some people have been so sweet too and sent me Instagram DMs with links to baby star crochet patterns. But I'm going to be real with you guys. I do not have the time to make her a costume. I did last year for her first year, for her very first Halloween. She was a mermaid. I have shown pictures of that before in videos, but that was before I had a YouTube channel. So I didn't have a bunch of crochet to do every week, along with editing videos and everything else that goes along with, you know, small business ownership. So I just unfortunately don't have the time this year. I might make her something next year, crochet wise, but if I do, I need to give myself like many months heads up. Yeah. Woo! Moe Lime is here. Angela, how the heck are you? I just finally met Moe Lime in person, and it feels weird to me to say Moe Lime because I always call her Maui Lime. And she's like, no, it's actually Moe Lime. But you know what? It's kind of fun for me to mispronounce it. I do that with a lot of things. Yeah, I do need to start for next year, like now. I don't know. How many of you guys are dressing up for Halloween and or dressing up your children? What are y'all being for Halloween? I have not dressed up in, gosh, probably since 2019 was the last time I dressed up. And that I was Merida, Princess Merida, and Ryan and I went to Disneyland's Fright Nights, or I forgot what it's called. It's not Fright Nights. I think that's a Universal thing. Or maybe a Knott's Berry Farm thing. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. That is what it was called. But it is the one time a year that you can actually dress up in costume at Disney. Otherwise, they have rules against it. They won't let you in if you're cosplaying or dressed too much alike a character because, you know, they don't want little kids running up to strangers and getting pictures and asking for autographs and things. Both for safety reasons, but also because Disney is very particular about how their characters talk and walk and sign and everything, so they don't want people interfering with that. But at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, you can dress up. So I made from scratch my Princess Merida costume, and so many people took pictures with me, and it was such a blast. I got to live out my fantasy of being a real-life Disney princess, which I would have never gotten hired at Disney to be one, even when I was very, very skinny, because I am 6 feet tall, and the cutoff for princesses is like 5'6". So if anything, I would have been like Maleficent or something like that. I wouldn't have gotten to be a princess. And that has always kind of bummed me out. Hi, Avery Crafts a Lot. I'm good. We're sitting over here talking about Halloween. A nerd. Oh, hi, nerd. I do look like a nerd today in my glasses. Okay, I gotta look at what you guys are dressing up for Halloween. Anybody gonna be Anne Frank? You dressed Willow up as Garth from Wayne's World. That's awesome. Dress her up as a turtle. A turtle would be cute. A cute bitty grandma. Oh my gosh. That would be cute, dressing her up like a little grandma. Willa's nickname was Pumpkinhead for the first year or so. Yeah, we call Celeste Count Olaf, which is such a niche reference. But if you guys ever read the Series of Unfortunate Events books, I read those in elementary school and freaking loved them. We got an order. Okay, let me finish my train of thought before I check it. Otherwise, I'll forget. But then they had the show come out with, well, there was a movie back in like the 2000s, but more recently, there was a show with, what's his face? Neil Patrick Harris, who was Count Olaf, and his hair like sticks out the sides, so we call Celeste Count Olaf. Or we call her Sunny Baudelaire, which is also a Series of Unfortunate Events reference, because the baby in that series chews on everything, and Celeste is at that age. She has 10 teeth now where she's just like chewing on everything. She was chewing on the couch this morning. We're like, what the heck? Oh, Ryan popped in to say hi. Hi, Rai. Oh, Nerdy Peach is here, not me. Well, you know what? I take being nerdy as a compliment, so I'm going to snatch Nerdy Peach's compliment and take it for myself, okay? Ryan texted me too. Oh, no, he didn't. Never mind. Okay, let's see what somebody ordered. I just finished packing sticker orders before we started this stream. Rhonda! Oh, Rhonda got one of my little boo baskets. I did put those up on the website because everybody wanted them, and I only have 4. One purple and one orange is already gone, but there's one purple and one orange left on the website if you guys want one of the little boo basket pop things. So I can get rid of them and not have to hold them on until next year. Yeah, she has 10 teeth. I know. She's like a little menace with those things. Hearing the cha-ching go off in the background is so fun. I know, isn't it fun? And then you guys can't see my counter, but hearing the tick is really fun too. Thank you guys for the congratulations. Last time I dressed up as Mrs. Lovett from Sweeney Todd. That would be fun. Oh my gosh. Nerdy Peach, that reminds me. I was in Les Mis when I was in high school. And I played a... Can I say this on YouTube? I've said a lot worse. I played a whore. And like the lovely ladies sing, lovely ladies, da 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 da. Yeah. And so I had like my hair all teased crazy. But I had the idea of like having a tooth missing, but obviously for the show, I didn't want to knock out one of my teeth. So I put a Tootsie Roll on my front tooth. And then from stage, it looked like it was blacked out. Don't worry, I put it on my fake tooth, not my real tooth, because that would have just like eaten away after 2 weeks of performing, having a Tootsie Roll just stuck to it. Oh my gosh. I should find that picture. It's a good picture. I'm going to look for it. I always like taking you guys down memory lane with me. And I think it's on my Instagram, my personal Instagram. Lovely ladies. Da, 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 da. I don't remember any of the other words. Oh gosh, I cannot type because my keyboard is underneath my desk riser. I'm not crocheting this time. I'm adventuring. Ooh, you're doing needle punching. Fun. Very fun. Oh. OMG, what if you made Celeste lamb chop and me Sherry? I'm Rosalina. I'm being Rosalina. But I do like that idea. I loved lamb chop and Sherry when I was a kid. Hey, any Canadians out there know Sherry Lois and Bram? Sherry Lewis and Bram? Anybody know who that is? because I play their music all the time for Celeste, because when I was a kid, well, my sister and I, when we were kids, we were doing a contract on a cruise line that was in Canada, and my mom and dad hopped off the ship and bought us a Sherry Lewis and Bram CD that we listened to nonstop. And now I play it all the time for Celeste. I love lamb chop too. There's a big lamb chop dog tour at Walmart. Yes. We always buy Jovi the little lamb chop toys. They don't last very much or very long anymore though. Oh. Stop what I'm doing. Stop everything. This is not a drill. Ooh. Yarzeth? Did I say that name right? Yarzeth got a Crochet Helper sticker, a Trick or Treat Give Me Yarn sticker, and a Professional Hobby Collector sticker. Thank you so much. That's going right into the She Shed Fund. That's what she shed. Okay, never mind. I can't find the picture. I thought it was on my Instagram. It's a funny picture that you guys could absolutely use against me in blackmail. Me looking like a lady of the night with a Tootsie Roll on my tooth. But I don't have it. Sorry. Yes, she shed. Oh my gosh, you guys, next week is the week. I am so nervous. The lady who I turned at the commissioner's office that I turned the application into, she kind of made it sound like the only reason why we wouldn't be approved is if one of our neighbors had an objection against us putting the shed on our property. The other problem, though, is that, I don't know if I told you guys about this. I remember talking to the camera about it, but I think it's for the vlog of building the she shed, which you guys have not seen yet. So forgive me if this is repeat information. But another problem that we have with putting the shed on our property is, number one, we need to get approved that we actually can. But secondly, with the size that I want to get, we have to put it 5 feet away from our fence between us and our neighbors. And zoning wise, you're supposed to have structures 10 feet away from the fence. But we also applied for something called a setback relief, which would make it so that they say, yeah, that's fine. You can put it 5 feet away from the fence. So we are waiting on 2 approvals. So if we get approved from the shed, but we can't put it 5 feet away from the fence, we have to go 10 feet away. That means I'm going to need to get a much smaller shed, which is going to completely change everything that I've had in mind for it in terms of furniture and layout and everything like that. So hopefully it goes well. I just talked to our next door neighbor at Fall Festival, actually. She came and said hi to us. And I was like, hey, have you guys gotten a letter that says we want to put the shed on our property? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, it's like 2 weeks away. So I feel like they definitely should have sent those out by now. We had to pay an almost $400 application fee. And I asked if we don't get approved, if we get that fee back. I didn't think that we would, but I was like, that's a big chunk of change just to submit the application. And if it doesn't get approved, then we're just out $400. But she said no, because that fee is for, they have to put out like an ad in the newspaper saying what we want to do. They have to send notarized letters to everybody within 100 yards of our house. Like, they have to do all this stuff. The time from the commissioners to sit and listen to our plea at the meeting. So, yeah. I was going to ask you if you have any indication about if it might be approved or not. That's what I know. She didn't really say either way, but I don't know. The way that she was talking just kind of gave me the vibe that it should be approved, as long as one of our neighbors does not show up and say, yeah, they can't do this, I have an objection, in which case that would suck. And then I would have a vendetta against them the entire lifetime that they lived there, and I would TP their house at Halloween, and I wouldn't even feel sorry about it. Because they have to show up publicly. They can't send in a letter or anything. Like, they have to show up to the meeting. So we'll know exactly who it is that denies us. I just love the little Highland cow on this shelf. Oh, thank you. I know, isn't she so cute? That is for Celeste, but she has no interest in it. She wants the little unicorn that I made for my friend. Eggs are better. Yeah, that's true. Eggs are better, or eggs are harder to get off. Maybe I'll TP their house and then egg their car. So, if any of my neighbors are watching right now, if you're the reason the 13,000 of us do not get our she shed, we're going to have some words. That's wild that you have that. Wait, that's wild that you have that much of a sum. Oh, for the fee. The fee, Kate. Yeah, I know. She told me it was $375, but I was like, humming. Oh my goodness. Soak the TP with egg and then throw it. See, this is why you guys are my favorites. You guys are coming in clutch with the good ideas. Spray paint their house. or just go drop all my yarn on their front porch and be like, this is my new office now, since you're the reason I can't get my shed. Maybe when you make Celeste unicorn, you could let her pick the yarn. Oh, yeah. Celeste picks yarn for me quite a bit, actually. Like I tell my students when they ask what I do if they aid my house, now I know what to tell the police. That's a lot of hoops for a shed. Fingers crossed. Yes. Well, see, here's the thing, is it would not be hoops if we did not have our garage detached. Joanne got 2 stickers. She got a Labubu unicorn and a Tamagotchi. Thank you, Joanne. As in the Princess of Craft Stores. Yeah, because the reason that we had to submit that very expensive application is because within city limits, each property is only zoned to have one exterior accessory structure, and our garage is detached from the house, and it has been on the property since like the 1930s or 40s. So it's not even recent. Like, it's been there for years. So that's why we had to submit the application to ask for permission to put a second accessory structure on our property, because the city zoning community council, whatever you call it, does not normally allow that without special permission. Look up Dylan the Dino. I just made one. He's so cute. Oh, okay. I've been looking for a good dino pattern. Could you build on top of the garage instead, Mandalora? So our garage is 2.5 car, and it's very deep. You guys might have seen my garage in previous vlogs and things. We actually have a stairway to a loft in there. So we were kind of talking about possibly finishing the loft, but the insulation is so bad. It gets so incredibly hot up there during the summertime. Heat just like rises and then just gets trapped up there. Plus, that's where we keep all of like our Christmas decorations and everything like that. So we did talk about finishing the garage loft, but the amount that it would cost to finish that many square feet would be way too expensive. It's a backup plan if, fingers crossed, knock on wood, the shed does not get approved. It is in the running for a backup plan, but it's going to be more expensive to finish it. Plus, I think that there might be bats up there. I don't know. So run an enclosed corridor from the house to the shed. Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing though, for taxes, the IRS is very particular about what counts as a permanent structure versus a temporary structure. And you bet your patootie that I will be using this office shed as a tax write-off. A cha-ching! Because it is all for work. You know, we're not making it, you know, just for funsies. It's literally for me to work out of. So it does count as a tax write-off. But If it is attached to the house or if it is on a permanent foundation, then we cannot use it in a one lump sum. It has to be a 30-year write-off, so it would kind of just get lumped into the house. So yeah, that's not ideal. No. Your house looks huge from your last video. I'm jealous, Michelle. Well, here's the thing about our house. It might be haunted. I don't know. Secondly, it's very, very old. So with that comes a lot of quirks. I was going to say issues, but we'll just say quirks. Like the electrical being very shoddy. Yeah, lots of things like that. But here's the thing, is we moved from California, if you have been around and you know our story. We moved from California, and the house that we lived in while we lived on the West Coast was a little, I think it was 1,600 square foot mobile home in a mobile home trailer park. And we sold that house for $240,000 and bought this one for $240,000. So we just got very fortunate that we bought our house at a really good time in California and sold it at a really good time. And it had appreciated by $100,000, which is insane. We sold it in 2021 when the market was really high. So yeah, my house is not that big. My house is like 2,800 square feet. It is, how many rooms? We have two weird little rooms, like my office and then Ryan's office downstairs right off the kitchen, which was originally like a breakfast nook, but we have a formal dining room, so we didn't really need the breakfast nook. So while Ryan was working from home, we turned that into his office, and now he's not working from home anymore. So now it's just kind of like the catch-all place where we throw all of like our kitchen stuff. It's like a pantry slash packing room for Etsy. We want to make that over eventually, but we've got these two little tiny rooms that, like, you can't really make this into a bedroom because a bed won't fit in here. Maybe like a crib, like you could make this a nursery. But counting those two rooms, we have the guest room, the nursery, our bedroom, 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and then we have a den TV room and a formal living room and a formal dining room. So definitely a good sized house. And that's one of the reasons why we bought it, because we knew that we could grow into this house. And it was funny because, when I first introduced the idea of doing the shed, I got a couple comments that said, just move. That were like, why would you pay to extend your house? Just move to a new house. And I'm like, you think that's less work? Have you ever moved house? You know how much of a headache and a pain in the butt moving is? Oh my goodness. Plus with these interest rates, no way, no how. Yeah, so plus, I mean, the house is sentimental to us. It's our first home when we moved to Indiana. It's the house that we brought both of our babies home to. Like that room right next to my office, the nursery, like that was Sawyer's room. So like, it's not as easy as just moving into a bigger house. Plus, I really don't want to have to explain to a bank to get a mortgage all of my different side hustles of income. Literally move. Just move. Oh my God. Tell them to move for me. Yeah, you guys want to come? Packing party. Come pack up my entire house. That's great. I did not know that. I was surprised you were from California. Yes. That's huge, almost double the size of mine, but I'm in a large city, so most of the houses are smaller. Yeah, Misty, we live out in the country. We live in a city, but it's in the middle of the country. Like the nearest big cities to us are an hour away. But we do have our own Walmart, which is nice. Yeah, I'm not about to move just so that I can get a bigger office to store all my yarn. No. A lot of people were like, just finish the basement or the attic. And I've talked about that in a recent episode as to why we're not doing that. Yeah, the shed is definitely the best course of action in terms of return on investment, because a completely finished shed is not that expensive, honestly. And we're already doing electrical work, so getting the run from our breaker box in our basement out to the shed to get the shed electricity is just tied into the loan that we got for that. So it was HVAC, because we got a new HVAC unit, the electricity run to the shed, and then getting a new breaker box, which needed to be replaced anyways, as well as the other electrical work that they're doing. They're just all rolled into one loan. So it's like, you know, that's future Katie problems. So yeah, it makes the most sense. Like, I talked to a realtor friend of mine, who was a realtor actually for the city that I lived in. And I was like, do you think that it would be a better return on investment when we do eventually sell the house to have completed, like, finish the attic, or to have a separate structure? And she said that the separate structure, because a lot of people here have like in-laws suites and things, because in the Midwest, I feel like just in general, the culture here is like to stay close to home, stay close to your parents, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles. So she had a good point, and she was like, that separate structure might be, you know, a selling point to somebody who wants to buy your house, because it would make a nice little guest house. It's not going to have plumbing, but the bathroom inside of the house is like 10 steps away from the shed. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm hot in here. Do you have tornadoes? Also, how do you battle hares in your stuffies? We do have tornadoes. We got some big naders here. And how do I battle hares? Oh, like my hair? I just wear a hairnet whenever I crochet, and then that takes care of the problem. Oh, you like how I decorate my house? Thank you. I appreciate that. I know some people have asked for a whole house tour, and a few years ago I did the bottom story of our house during Christmas time, because that's my favorite time in the house. We have a 10-foot tall or 11-foot tall Christmas tree in like the formal living room, and it's just magical and beautiful. But I never recorded the upstairs, and now having the baby, the upstairs is just in a constant state of disarray. So it's like that would take a lot for me to clean up to the point where I could finish the tour. But wait, you wear a hairnet when you crochet? No, I was being facetious, Nerdy Peach. I don't. I don't know. I guess my hair just does not fall out that much. Hey, Nerdy Peach, I'd be a sexy lunch lady. I'd be that lunch lady that everybody would want to come to, because I give the big scoops of the mac and cheese. I'm a cake decorator, and I draw the line at hairnet while I crochet. My hair needs to breathe. Well, wait, your hair can breathe in a hairnet because it's open. What took me to Indiana? That's a great question. Okay, hang on. Before I answer that, I think I know what the problem is, you guys, with my blanket. Part of the problem. So this is my second skein of this yarn. The first skein is down here. And do you see how, like, it's less rigid? It's a lot more flowy versus up top. It's more rigid. I don't know if you can tell. But also down here is a lot softer than it is up here. So I'm thinking that this skein of yarn is just a little bit starchier and stiffer than the first skein that I used was, which is why I'm having more tension issues. But what took us to Indiana? We just wanted to leave California. We hated living there. We both were born and raised there, and all of our friends and family were there, but it's hot and it's stupidly expensive, and people aren't nice for the most part. So when we got married and the only house that we could afford was a mobile home in a trailer park, we went ahead and bought it just to, you know, move out of our parents' houses. And well, we lived together in an apartment before we were married. I know, scandalous, but we had already been together for 8 years at that point. So we did move in together before we were wed, before we were even affianced. We lived together. But then after we were married, we bought our house. And I was teaching at the time. Ryan was working for a California company that he was working as a project manager for. So we were both making good money, and all we could afford was a 1,600 square foot trailer park house. And, there's nothing inherently wrong, I don't think, about living in a mobile home park. For a lot of people, like, that's the difference between them owning a home versus renting. And I'm always an advocate for not renting if you can help it, because you're just throwing money away every month when you could be paying toward a mortgage. So if you can do the down payment or get like an FHA loan or something where you have 0% down, then I always say, go the mortgage route. But, so there was nothing inherently wrong about that, but the specific location that we lived in, very drug-ridden, little hood rats running around our house constantly, barefoot, think of all of the trailer park stereotypes that you can think of. That was where we lived, and we stuck out like sore thumbs, especially because I love to interior decorate, and we fixed up the inside of that house. Do you guys want to see pictures of our house? If you want to, I will legitimately show you like what we did to the inside of it that increased the value by $100,000 on a mobile home. Yeah, one day we just kind of looked at each other and I was like, we're married now. We want to start a family. I don't really want to raise kids here. I don't want to bring a baby home from the hospital in this environment, So then we started looking for houses, and we couldn't afford anything. Even both of us making good money on salary incomes with good jobs could not afford anything. So then I was like, okay, let me float this idea. How about we leave California? And Ryan was on board. And so then we just started looking at places where states where that fit a couple different criterias, but the main one was that it needed to be a state where my teaching credential would transfer to. So Indiana was one of them, but we had it narrowed down to like 6 or 7 different states. All of them were all of them were East Coast, far East Coast, or Midwest. And then from there, we just hopped on Zillow and just started looking at houses. I knew that I wanted an old house because I just love the charm and character of old houses and the construction. Like, they just don't build them like this anymore. So then we just started looking for pockets of areas that had a lot of history, because I've said this before, but I'm a major history nerd, and so it was important to me that we lived in a historic area. So long story short, we had it narrowed down to a couple different states, couple different cities, and we pretty much threw a dart on a map and picked Greensburg, Indiana. And here we are. I've been yapping for so long. Here's an added bonus. Yeah, it's like a little glitter. Sounds like Florida. Yeah. Oh, I heard the goblin color and Parfait Chunky is back in stock. Yes, yes, yes. It's exactly how I feel about living in Vegas. I'm looking into moving somewhere in the eastern direction. Yeah, you know what? We have not looked back since moving here. And everybody who we tell, like, we moved from California, typically the first thing that they say is, why? I trade places with you, and why did you pick Indiana? But, like, it's just, when you're paying, how much was our apartment? Our mortgage is the same here as it was in a mobile home. So that tells you something. I want to say we were paying like $3,100 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. And gas was almost, it was a little over $7 when we left. I've said that before. Okay, you guys want to see the pictures? I'll make it quick. I gotta scroll through and find them. Yeah, we took one look at that tree and I said, I'd grow old with that tree. Looking with that tree view right there. We do love our tree city. Little Greensburg. I do really like where we live though, because it's a small town. Like I said, small town in the country, So everybody's in everybody's business, like any small town is, but we have a Walmart. So that's nice. We don't have really anything else other than that. Like if we want to go out to eat, it's all fast food. We do have one Mexican restaurant and a Chili's. But other than that, there's not many options for grocery shopping or anything like that. But for us, it's like the perfect balance. Plus my mom lives out in Indianapolis, so, you know, sometimes we'll just go and say hi and then ditch. We'll ditch the baby and go run our errands. I'm going back in my photos to try to find it. I grew up in Indiana and the prices are so awesome. Yes, they are. We love it here. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. We love it here. Absolutely adore Indiana. What about your mom? Did she move because of us? Yes, she did. After Sawyer died, she stayed with us in our guest room for about 2 months. She handled his funeral and everything like that because Ryan and I just couldn't. And so she stayed with us for about 2 months, and then she went back to California, and then not even a month later, she called me and she was like, something, God, the universe, something is telling me that this is no longer my home. And she's lived in California her whole life. And she's like, I need to be with my baby. So she picked up her whole life and moved here. And we're trying to get the rest of the family out here. We're trying to convince them to pull them out to the Midwest. Oh, okay, here's picture. Okay, I'm getting close because here's pictures of us in the car on our way across the country. Hi, Tristiana. My mom is amazing. She's got a boyfriend. I don't know if she's listening to this. She's downstairs. She's got a boyfriend now. And I'm chopped liver now that she's got her BF. I have to schedule time with her now. She's like, I gotta leave early tonight because I'm meeting Chris for dinner. Okay. You birthed me. I came out of your body and now I'm chopped liver compared to this new guy. Favorite cheap comfort food? Favorite food to crochet? Well, wait, favorite food to like turn into plushie form crochet? Is that what you mean? Or favorite food to eat while I crochet? Favorite cheap comfort food? I'm going to be honest with you, it changes. Everybody asks me, well, not everybody, but sometimes people will ask me, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite candy? What's your favorite drink? I don't know. It changes. Depends on my mood. Ooh la la. Yep. Everybody give mom a lesson in sex education. You know what? Maybe don't, because I don't want to know. MILF. No, I'm the MILF. I'm the MILF, Maui. My mom and I can't be MILFs. My mom's a GILF, as they say. My mother and brother both follow me to Florida. It's awesome having family nearby. It is so awesome. Okay. I think we're about here. Yes. Okay, so our house, strawberry ice tongue. My tongue is not as pink as it used to be. You know what? I have not really been having my strawberry ices because prepping for surgery, I have to cut out all caffeine after surgery. So I've been weaning myself off of it. So I have not been partaking as much. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen if I can figure out how to do this. It always takes me a second. But when we bought our mobile home, it was brand new. It was built in 2019, and then the dark times happened and it just sat on the market because nobody was moving. And then we bought it a year and a half later. So it was all new. And I mean, you can't, if I did not tell you this was a mobile home, you probably could not tell that it is. But we did fix it up. We just added more character into it. I'm not going to say we fixed it up or renovated it. We just added more character, which was really important to me. Okay, can I figure out how to do this? Window capture, add source, how do I go to Chrome? Chrome. Okay, there you go. You guys can see it. Let me move my face. Okay, we're on my Facebook. Oh, look at 12-year-old Katie. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's not look at that. So, this is when we bought our house. There's Jovi. This is the outside of it. From the outside, it definitely looks mobile homey. So, when we first moved in, we had carpet on like the living area, and we ripped that out and put in flooring. We added this board and batten. We built this entire faux fireplace that hid our TV. So these are like the progress pics. That is my piano that I painted. I literally have a sign that says Outlander. Okay, that's a piece of furniture that I flipped. So this is what our dining room looked like with my piano that I painted. We left that piano there for the next people. It was a player piano. It was really cool. That is what the fireplace looked like. And so these arches were actually on like rollers. So you would pull the arches apart and then the TV is right behind it. But one of my pet peeves in design is seeing a TV. So anything that I can do to disguise the TV, you guys have probably seen in vlogs, our current TV, I put a picture frame around it so it just looks like a picture. So here was like during and then after. You love the Outlander sign? You miss lockdown sometimes? I kind of do too. So this is when we were redoing the kitchen. So that was in the process. Oh, that was our bathroom. Well, one of the bathrooms. It was a 2-bathroom. All of my little signs. I was really into farmhouse at the time. That is so not my style anymore. Oh, that's my classroom. These are my classroom pictures. Where's the kitchen? Oh, that was the little entryway. We had this little random cutout that we didn't know it was for, so I always joked that we should just keep a pie there. So that's a fake pie that we just kept there to make it look like it meant something. So this is what the kitchen looked like when we moved in. So that's actually a really nice kitchen, isn't it? But it was boring to me. So that is the before picture. And this is what we did to it. I went and added a backsplash. I built from scratch a custom vin hood. Ryan and I are really into woodworking too. I added island legs. So that was before. So before there was no backsplash. I added the backsplash. We took the microwave out from above this and put it inside of the island so that it would be out of view and easier to access. So there's a before and after for you. Our house is just Disney and other nerd stuff thrown everywhere. Hey, you know what? To each their own. I have always loved design. Always. So it has always been so important to me to like have a pretty house. But then with a baby, that desire has kind of drifted away. Hi, Katie. How are you today? Also, thank you for whoever mentioned Goblin from Premiere. Hi, I am great. Thank you so much. We're walking down memory lane. This happens on every single episode. But yeah, that was our kitchen. So there's before and after. So yeah, so this is the little mobile home that allowed us to buy our house here. Oh, at night. What a vibe. What a vibe. Oh, a little Jovi next to the fireplace. There was our living area. The kitchen was on the other side over here, so it was open concept. That was before and after. So here was our bedroom. So that was like the master suite. There was a bathroom over here. We had just a long hallway, and there was a office, our room, a guest room, and a 4th bedroom. So it's 4 bedroom, 2 bath. So that is actually really good. Here is what the office looked like before I redid it. And do I have pictures of after of the office? Why are they all mixed up? I guess I don't. Oh, here it is. That is what I did to my office at my old house. Have my little keyboard. I had a piano and a keyboard. Oh, that's my engagement photos. Yeah, so that was the house that we sold. This was during Christmas time. Christmas time is here. Almost. It's almost time. Oh, I used to love lining the table with candles. What a fire hazard. Oh yeah, and then we put the board and batten all the way down the hallway. Oh, so this brings us to my plan for the she shed. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the board and batten, and then up top, like in this picture where all of the gray is going to be where my wallpaper is going to go, my cloud wallpaper. And I don't know what color I'm going to do yet. Oh, those are old French doors that I got for free on Marketplace, and I turned the French doors into our headboard. I stripped it down. That's actually a door, but I made it into our headboard. Did you see Ariel? Yeah, that was me as Ariel for Halloween. Oh, 2020 was the last time I dressed up. This was the last thing that I did. Oh my gosh, look at all the pictures of Ryan. Look at us in high school. Look at those cutie patooties. His little dimples. He's so cute. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at Paisley. Look at Paisley as a baby. Everybody stop what you're doing and look at this little teddy bear. I would have never known it was a mobile home. It's so elegant. Thank you, Michelle. See, that's it. And you guys, I was my own realtor. I refused to pay realtor commission. So I was my own realtor. I was teaching. I fixed up the whole house, and then I like handled all of the scheduling and selling it and paperwork and everything like that. I know. She is so cute. Look at the little baby. Oh, that was her Paisley's first Halloween. Ryan hasn't aged. This was her first birthday. This picture looks wrong, but they're just playing. Now Paisley is 3 times the size of Jovi. Oh, those are some weight loss pics. Okay, we don't need to look through the rest of these. Unless you guys want to see my current house. These are all of our wedding pictures. Oh, here's some good Scotland pictures. We talked about that last time, though. We're not going to go through these. No. Okay, I'm going to get off here. I'm getting off here. Okay. Oh, now it's Inception. Okay, there we go. Thank you for indulging me. Every time we need to have a little walk down memory lane together, hand in hand. One day I will show you guys pictures of how we fixed up our current house that we live in. How many hats do I have? Well, thank you, Michelle. You're so sweet. I have many hats. Too many to count. And I don't know how to say that without coming off as conceited and pretentious. Ryan says that there's nothing that I can't do except for math, and that's pretty accurate. Actually, math and baking / cooking. Everything else I'm a jack of many trades. Oh, hang on. I gotta catch my stream up. There we go. What time is it? All right, I gotta start winding down here. I'm gonna just finish this row and then I gotta say bye because Mom's gotta go be with her boyfriend. Ew, cooties. A woman of many talents. Thank you, guys. You're so sweet to me. I wish I was good at interior design, but crochet is about as crafty as I get. Here's the thing about interior design is that it's very expensive. Although I am quite frugal. I'm frugal in every aspect of life except for yarn. Isn't that weird? Are any of you guys like that too? When it comes to yarn, I'm just like, I don't care about the price. Just give me. But every other aspect, I like to save money. So like how I talked about the headboard was an old door that I got for free. Almost everything in our house that is not in this room was either from thrift shops or Facebook Marketplace that I just refinished. With a few exceptions. For like our couch, like I'm not going to buy a couch on Facebook Marketplace. I don't want to have to go through the hassle of cleaning it. Be nice, he might be your stepdaddy. You know what? As long as he's rich, he can be my stepdad. That's actually a joke. Every person that my mom dates, she's like, just so you know, I have a granddaughter who needs a pony. So, can you handle this? Silly question, may I ask whatever happened to the other set of the community tapestry? Yes, that is a great question, actually. So months ago, I feel like at this point in a vlog, I combined all of them, or I didn't crochet or sew them together. I stitch markered them all together, but then it was just a few days before I was about to put them all together when we had the idea of doing the shed. So now I am waiting to combine them until we get the shed, because I think what I'm going to end up doing is actually figuring out how to put them all in one tapestry, since I'm going to have... Was that you, Paisley? Oh, that was Paisley. Okay. Because I'm going to have a lot more wall space in my new office. Here, I couldn't fit all of them because, we only have limited space here. But in the shed, we're going to have a ton of wall space. So I'm not combining them yet until I know what's happening with that. So that way I can save them and combine them with the current one that I have. I asked because I had 4 granny squares. Yes, yep, I still have them. They have literally been sitting on my dining table for the past months. That's how I feel about my dad. He's 78 and has a girlfriend. I'm 57. I think you cuties. No matter how old you get, the thought of your parents not acting like parents, if you know what I mean, is gross. I was concerned because I think mine have been a little tight. I included the yarn I use in my note. Yes, I still have all of that stuff. That is Miss Paisley. She looks like a naked mole rat right now because she just got groomed today. All right, you guys, I'm almost to the end of this row. And then we will call it a night. Hello, Rowan. Fashionably late. Welcome. You're here just for the tail end of it, but don't worry because the replay will be up once I stop the live. It'll just take a second for the replay to be up. You can join us from the beginning. I'm sorry, you guys, by the way, that this is at like an awkward time. Like I said, it's a weeknight, school night, work night, during dinner time. But I'm pretty sure the next one that we're doing is October 11th, and that is a Saturday. I might need to change the time on that. I might need to make it a little bit later in the day or a little bit earlier in the day, because I have something now on the 11th that's like smack dab in the middle of the day, which is exactly when I think we're doing the live. But I'll try not to postpone that live stream because I had to cancel the last Saturday live stream, and I know a lot of you guys can only join on weekends. All right, this is as far as we got. It looks no bigger than it did at the start, but I've been yapping. I love watching your market vids. Well, thank you very much. I like making the market vids. And I'll be honest with you guys, I really need to get my butt into gear and sign up for more markets because I have that's a lie. I have one more market in November, but it's a very short 1 day, few hour thing, which normally I don't do those events. But Katie, will you do any markets during the Christmas season? I applied for one. I did, and I even had to submit a $25 application fee for that, but have not heard anything. But that one is a humongous Christmas market in Indianapolis. Oh my gosh, Jovi. She's cute, God love her. It's looking pretty so far. Yes, it is. I absolutely love this yarn. I'm often crocheting while watching. Currently crocheting a pattern test. Ooh, who's it for? You have 4 markets in October? Oh my gosh. You gonna get that butt, girl? All right, I should go get the dog because she's being a little menace right now. And I need to let my babysitter go so that she can go smooch her boyfriend. Did I miss a notification? Yes, I did. Melanie, if you are still here and watching, thank you so much for your order. She got some stickers. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to say good night to you here. Thank you all so much for being here. No video on Friday. I'm backlogging. I have videos filmed. I need to edit them, but I'm saving all of them until right after my surgery. So no Friday videos for the foreseeable future, unfortunately. But I gotta get busy working on my shed stuff. So all right, everybody. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.